Alright, community, what's good? So, just enjoying a lot of my movies, you know what I'm saying, just my day off. I was just running through watching them. So I decided to do a top 5 favorite, you know what I'm saying, from Marvel and DC. These are the ones, I always like to see, my comic characters relived, through action figures, movies, animated. I'm a huge fan of animation, American style, Japanimation, it doesn't matter. I mean, if it's dope, I'm loving it. Especially, a lot of these movies, or the animated movies, have been better than a lot of the, live movies. You can get a lot more, I guess, comic style, almost accurate to it. But let's just run down a few of them real quick. So, got Planet Hulk here. This is such an epic story. Especially, it's one of those ones that was from comics. It was a very good comic. You almost kind of feel like, well, how are they going to do it within a short amount of time? Because, with a lot of the animated movies, you're going to lose, probably a little something. And I thought that the telling of the story was great. They followed the path, pretty much spot on. I even like the fact that they added Beta Ray Bill instead of Silver Surfer. It's just another way to give more life to the universe and more characters. So number 5, definitely Planet Hulk. Alright, number 4, Superman Batman Apocalypse. I just love the art style of this movie. It was just one of those ones that they actually just go all out. It's just fights, just a great story. The way the characters are drawn, the whole art value around it is just spot on. Darkseid, he's just an all-around cool character. He's just a badass antagonist through the whole thing. They just, it's just all about, basically Supergirl, her coming up, the way, Superman has to deal with her, and Batman, it's just one of those stories that definitely have to take a look at if you haven't seen it. So that's number 4. Number 3, Hulk versus. Now I actually like this better than, the last couple of X-Men movies that have shown. I mean, this is how Wolverine's supposed to be. This movie was violent, it was bloody, it was action-packed. I think the only downfall was that it was really short. But, yeah, for both of them, it equaled out to, almost a movie length. But they're just totally different stories, the way or how they interact with Hulk and how he became, or, part of the story. It's just one of those ones that so great. I think Kyle Yost, or Christopher Yost, and Kyle Crane, or whatever his name is, they have such a great style together. I mean, those guys have done some great work. Yost and Kyle, that's their names. So definitely check this one out. Number 2 would have to be Batman Under the Hood. This is one that was just such a brutal story. I mean, it was so violent. Just what they got away with. I mean, for the most part, you saw Jason Todd is getting, his brains beat in, his death. All around it was so great. The amount of violence, the fighting in it was just spot on. The story was great. I loved the Joker in here. I mean, the voice acting was, by far top notch. I mean, this was such a great story. I would have had Gotham Knights in there as well, because that one was such a great one, but it's just, this one just really is superior. It's just so good. So that is number 2. Now, before I get into number 1, I'll put in some, 2 of my honorable mentions, because number 1 I actually don't own, on Blu-ray yet. I'd have it on bootleg on my PS3, but we'll get to that in a moment. But honorable mention would have to be Ultimate Avengers. This one was just a great story. This is actually the combo pack. They actually have 2 of them, so part 1 and part 2. I actually prefer part 1 over 2, but number 2 was dope. But this is the one for me. I mean, the Ultimates is just a great universe. I just love the way they exploded onto the scene and just, established as their own. They're not afraid to go out, even eliminate characters. I mean, you won't see that too much in the, the 616 universe, but you will see it in this one. I mean, this is such a great story. Definitely check that out if you haven't. Last one will be Green Lantern First Flight. This is how you want your Green Lanterns represented. I mean, the constructs, the fighting, the all-around visual effects were just top notch. I mean, this was really good. Now, this could easily be in the top 10, whatever. I mean, it could actually move around some places with some other ones, but for the most part, I love this story. It was so good. You see the rise and fall of Sinestro. So all that, you know, put into a story, you know, like this, you see Hal Jordan's origin for the most part. I mean, the comics, yeah, it's more in depth, but you know, the movie, they get right to the point. But this is really cool, so definitely check these out. So now I'll show you my favorite DC Marvel movie. Alright, pretty ghetto, me showing you my TV like this, but this is one of those ones I don't own, but I have it on copy on my PS3. I mean, I'll get the Blu-ray eventually, but this is my favorite one, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. I love this flick. I mean, it had it all for me. The fighting, the animation, the story plot. I mean, it was so good. It's one of those ones I like to watch every, you know, time to time again. You can actually watch it for free on Netflix, so definitely check that out if you can. The voice acting was great. At first I didn't really care for, you know, Batman. I think it was one of the Baldwins, but after, you know, watching a couple of things, he really grew on me. I mean, he did a great job. James Wood as Owlman was just epic. It's just one of those ones it's just a fun factor. The fighting in it was just so cool. I mean, these guys actually just go to town. I mean, you like to see, you know, big powers like that, being able to smash through walls or anything like that. So it was just a great treat to watch. I definitely loved it. So, all right, that's my top 5. If you guys would like to do your own video, do a video response to this, or in the comments, you know, your top 5, I would love to see that. All right, you guys, peace.